Hi there, boys and girls. In this video we're going to be looking at making art using cookie cutters with our homemade Play-Doh. So the first thing I'm going to do is get a surface ready, so you can use some plastic wrap or a piece of plastic bag, or you can also sprinkle a little bit of flour on there. That just helps it to keep from sticking. And we're going to need to flatten this down, and you can flatten it with your hand. I think a more even way of doing it is to use a cup to do it. And what you're going to want to do, and if yours starts to stick like that, flip it over to that side that has the flour on it, and that'll keep it from sticking. But you want to get about cookie thickness, and there's a few different ways you can do this. We'll talk about that in a moment. So once I get to about cookie thickness, I'm going to put this on there, press my cookie cutter down, and then I'm going to pull away the extra and save the extra for something else I'm going to make. And one way you can look at this is you can take the cookie cutters you have and make them and add details to them. So like this one was like a mitten shape, and it was the only one I could find at my house, and so I could look at that and say, oh man, I only have a mitten, that's all I can make. But I could also look at it and say, hey, I have a mitten, let's see what else I can make that into. So yeah, I'm gonna make a mitten, since that's what this shape is most obviously recognized as. But I could make it into other things too. So I'm gonna flatten out another piece, and what I think, if you're limited in your cookie cutters like I am, is I think it's fun to try to turn your shapes and turn them into something else. So I'm going to turn this sideways, and then try to get creative and turn it into something else. So what if I put a little eye and I'm going to stick a nose, and I'm going to use a fork and cut but just making a few little small changes could turn my mitten, and a few extra details could turn my mitten into a little dog with a cool little collar to it. So if you're like me and you only have, cookie shapes that aren't really maybe fitting for this time of year, because I don't wear mittens right now, then use it as an opportunity to try to be creative. Another way you could look at cookie cutters is you could, again looking for the possibilities in it, but you could fill it even with different colors. So when I turned this sideways, I got to thinking that, that at a side could be something interesting. So I thought maybe I could fill my cookie cutter with some different shapes. And make it into something cool. So don't get down if you only have a few different designs. Instead, look at it as an opportunity to really press your creativity in new ways. So like I thought that mine could be a cool shape where it looks like a limb and a cocoon, or chrysalis, excuse me. And then this could be the body, and I could make a butterfly out of this. So try to look for possibilities of things that you could make. So get out those cookie cutters with your salt dough and make a lot of different things. Use your creativity. Try to look at things in a whole new way today. Have fun. Happy making.